Hey guys, and welcome back to Skizzlecraft. So today we're jumping straight in with a little bit of building. I need to get going on some building. I have more use of my hand. I can actually click buttons today, which is very nice. So I thought we'd start off by heading out somewhere else away from the base to do a little bit of building. And you might have noticed something's missing from here, and with what's in my inventory you'll maybe give you a bit of a clue, but I decided we're going to head up into the shopping district and build ourselves a little shop to sell some of these guys. I have been breeding them up. If I can actually get in here. I've had to pen them in for now because as soon as I took the leads off them, they all escaped. I don't think I can breed any of these yet. Yeah, they all escaped, so it took a while. They were like running through the portal and running all over the mountain and everything, so it did take a while to get them in here. So I've fenced them in, and I think we're going to leave these guys here for now and head straight up to the shopping district. I have been collecting resources. There we go, for building our little shop. And then I thought we can also probably sell the powdered snow at the same time. And just add an extra chest in there. But the main shop is going to be for selling our little snow foxes, because people seem to like them. And they spawn all over the place for me. Let's head through here. I've actually been killing a few of them because like in the middle of the mountain it's really difficult to get them off, so I just usually kill them. So if we head into the castle, our shopping district is just through here. There we go. And we do have a plot that I marked out. I think it's south. I think this is ours. Yeah, this is our plot we marked out at the beginning of the season. So I've had this just like this for about 3-4 months. And not really done anything with it. But today we're going to get the shop built. What was in these? Nothing. So we're going to get the shop built today. I have been in the creative world and made something I think is okay. We don't need anything massive. We're not gonna fill this. Well, I might just decorate the floor, do some trees and stuff to make it look pretty, but we're gonna actually build a little snow fox lying down, and it shouldn't take that long. As you can see, the resources aren't that much. I think actually this is all the resources. So we've got snow blocks, snow layers, a little bit of blue pod soil for the floor. I'm going to put a spruce tree, one of the big ones, behind it. And then just some stuff for signs and a bit of decorating. And then we've got the leads and some sweet berries, which I'm going to put a little chest or something under the ground for when I need to restock or breed them up, because we're going to sell these snow foxes and obviously they'll get a lead with it as well, so they can come in, put the money in the barrel, and then the snow foxes are going to be on fences, like single ones, so we also need to make sure they can't escape. I think before we move those guys up here, because that's going to be a bit of a nightmare, they are going to run away. We might end up having to build fences around all the portals on the way here. We'll see. It might be a little bit of a struggle to get them, so we'll just get rid of these, and I think we'll start off by building our little fox. So now we've got the shop built. I like the way it looks. You can actually see it better if you're a little bit higher. We added in a load of the snow layers just to give it a little bit more texture. I could do some on the top, but I like the way it is. I just need to double check it's all light proof. Actually, we can do that now. We need to do a bit lighting up around the tree, but we've added the frog lights to the details on the ears to make sure it was all lit up on top. And then we just got our little entrance here as we go through. Now, instead of bringing all the foxes, I brought 3, and then I thought I can just breed them up because it was a bit of a nightmare. We couldn't actually use our multiverse portals to get these guys through. I had to go through the nether and drag them all the way through the nether to the actual shopping district nether portal. But I thought we'll just bring these 3 and then we can breed them up in here. We've got space for 10. And then I've made this little space underneath with some chests. This is just my area, so I can just leave some berries and some extra leads and stuff in here, as well as snow. I've added a couple of the sweet berry bushes down here, so if I start to run low, I can just get a couple from down there to stock up as well. And then we'll just breed these guys up. I have added a bit of the powdered snow up here, and we've got them set to 2 diamonds each because you get the bucket out in the snow with it. And then we've gone for 32 diamonds for the snow fox. And I have spoke to a few people. I know that's quite a lot, but quite a few people said they'd be willing to pay a stack of diamonds for a snow fox. So I've gone for half a stack. That means if you want to pay a stack of diamonds and get 2, then you can breed them up as much as you want anyway. So we'll see if this actually sells. So now I just need to stand here and wait a little bit. It's not been 10 minutes yet, and we can get these bred up till we've got 6 more snow foxes, and then we are done. We head out. I can actually probably just light up a little bit. I do have torches. I got some more soul lanterns as well. I don't think snow melts if I place it myself, but I'm not quite sure. I have placed snow around, but I've not really noticed if any of it's melted. But I could just had a couple of soul lanterns around just to light this up a little bit. Can't add them to leaves. Great. What else have I got? I do have spruce logs because the first tree that popped up only had branches right on the top, which was kind of annoying. So I had to chop that down and get one that had a few more leaves and stuff. So maybe if we just add that there. That lights up this area. Then, what else have we got? I know what we can do. This side, we can just add this last fence. Like that. That's pretty much our area lit up. I might just go out. I need to get some moss, but I'll just go out and place a frog light or something in this area to light that up later. So for now, I'm just going to stand and wait and waste our time waiting for these guys to be able to breed. I did add the fence gates because I thought they might end up running out, and it's going to be a pain for people if they take them off and then they have to pick the lead up and the fox runs out. It's going to be a little bit annoying. So at least in here, they're kind of enclosed. So now that the shop is built, we've gone back to the base to start on the project that I originally had planned for today, which is this section here. Now, I've counted out the blocks. I don't want to continue on building this just yet because the next sections are quite big. And I can't really handle a giant build right now, but I thought in this section here, just connected to this, is a smaller building. It's still quite high. It's still, I think, 3 floors in the same design. So it's still got all the same kind of blocks and stuff. But we've got the library annex here. And that then connects up to this bridge. So I thought we could build that because it's not quite as big as all the other sections that I've got. And we've got all the resources here. There was a couple of things I needed to build. And I actually got a load of stuff for decorating this as well, not just building the outside. So even though it's small, I thought we can actually do the inside of the library as well, do all the desks, do all the bookshelves and everything, do the little study area at the bottom, and then have the little restricted section and everything. And it lines up nicely with where we built this terrain here. It kind of marks out where the edge of the building is going to go. So it still connects up to everything that we've got built. It's not just going to be stood in the middle, which is great because that means I don't risk putting it in the wrong place and having to destroy it all, which makes it easier. I can line it up. I think we'll start with the bridge there and line it up with that and make sure it lines up perfectly with this. I might be able to do some of the terraforming as well because obviously it's at this level and we want the terraform to go all the way down to the bottom there. So I have brought a load of grass and dirt and the other things that we generally use for terraforming, just a little bit. So we'll see how my arm's going after we've built the actual building, to see if we want to get the terrain done as well. I would really like to have the whole terrain done. Then I've got the space to go up and down and put the buildings just in the little gaps, but that's going to take so long. The terrain takes absolutely ages. I think we'll go stock up on food because 25 is not going to last, and then we can jump into a time lapse and get the outside of the building done before we start decorating. So that's the main part of the building done. It does look a little bit odd sticking out here in the middle of nowhere. We do have all the terraforming to do down here. I've just started marking out where it's going to go there. And as you can see, it already needs quite a lot of snowproofing. I've mostly done this. There's, as I can see, a couple of little spots of mist. But I think this section is actually fully snowproofed and spawnproofed. Yeah, I think it'll look a lot better once we start getting this next section built. I've not done the inside just yet. We're going to do that in a minute. But if we head down here to the entrance, we start off on this floor. So I am going to do the inside of this, even though we've not done most of it. I did start doing a section inside here and plan it out as the library, but I got a bit mixed up because that's just going to be a study room that I was doing here, because this is the library. It's the library annex. So I need to go in and edit what I started putting in over there. But most of the bookshelves can stay where they are anyway. But this first floor, we're going to do as kind of like a common room area. Not really a common room because they've got their own house common rooms. But just a little hangout area. We're going to do some decorative stuff here. Maybe some potion stuff, some seating, and just little random things. Like a little hangout area. We'll go up to the next floor. This is going to be like a study room. So I'm going to fill this with tables and things like that to give people a place to sit and study. This needs lighting up on the outside because, well, there's no point in doing this. It's going to snow again soon. Then if we head to the stairs again and go up to the next floor, this is going to be the main section of the library. I've just marked out here where I'm going to do the restricted section. And yes, I know the library in the actual movies are a lot bigger, but again, as we said in the last episode, we're very limited on space. When it looks right on the outside, that doesn't give us too much space on the inside, so we just have to make do. And I think this is a pretty decent sized library, and I can see a creeper. This is going to be full of bookshelves, rows and rows of them here. We're going to have the restricted section in there. I'm also going to be putting bookshelves and stuff up here and all the way up to the ceiling. So that's what this section is going to be. This is the main part of the library. And then these are going to eventually go out into the corridors into the next section of the building. Each section we're going to end up with bits like that at the minute because all these buildings around here are actually joined up. So it's a little bit difficult to do like a complete building with no gaps in the side. And these stairs just go up to this extra balcony section. So we need to put a railing on here. And again, there's going to be more books and stuff up in here. So for now, I need to head down. I do have lots of books. I have lots of chisel bookshelves as well. We've got the tables and stuff to do, but most of the decorative stuff I've put in here, in these two chests. So we're just going to take these up and then run back to the storage room. If there's anything else, we do need that one. If there's anything else I can think of that we want to get done, but I think we'll start on this room. And the books, it's just, they look nice. And then I played around a little bit and liked the idea of these little potions area. I know really potions supposed to be the potion dungeon, but it just gives it just that little bit more to the decoration, a little bit more that fits in with the theme. And I've just added lava, snow and water to these just to make it look a little bit like potions. And the cauldrons hanging from the ceiling, and with the fires and the particles and the smoke, it just gives it a little bit of movement in the room instead of it being completely still, because before that the only movement we had in here was the candles over there, and it was kind of a bit boring. But without putting too much in here, I think it looks quite nice. But if we go up to the next room, this is our study area. So this is basically just full of tables and chairs. Added a few boxes and stuff around, a couple of lecterns around. But this is just a plain study area. It's just something to put in this room. And because it's underneath the library, it makes sense that they can come with the books from the library and have somewhere to sit. And then we get into the main part of the library itself with our restricted section in here. Books all the way up. I did this section up here because obviously, you know, magic, you don't really need to be able to walk up to them. And I wondered whether I should do the same on the other side. But I like the fact that it's not symmetrical. Anyway, this is symmetrical enough for me. So we've got the books, the rows of books going in each of their directions. We've got these tables going along in a few of them. I've added lights in each of these sections as well as some lecterns around, and the restricted section is just the same. Bookshelves, we've got the chisel bookshelves just to give it a little bit of a change in the texture. And then that is it for the library. It does go up here, which takes us up to this little balcony with more books and lecterns on. I've not put any tables up here just because it was a little bit too small for that. Didn't look right. But that is the whole interior of this section done now. The building over there is literally just the end of the wall. So where the wall will go from here, and it'll continue all the way around the greenhouses, and it'll come back in to join. I need to fly up to see this. It'll come back in here to join onto this, which these buildings will then join into each other here. And then that is just the last section here. And then all we've got left to do is the terraforming down to the bottom. And then this part of the castle is complete. And with the terraforming from this section here done all the way over to the edge of what we built here, this build is now complete. I actually finished this little section here because when we built this part of the building, the east wing, we actually only did it to this level where it started. So from, I think it's about here, there was nothing below. So I've just finished that down to the terrain so it connects and it's completely filled up. This, I think, is fully snowproof now. I need to wait for it to snow again so I can just check if there's any section that's missed. It's all lit up, it's all spawn proof. There's grass and bushes and string and everything, and a few places I've added like quite a lot of moss carpets, which really blends in quite well. You can actually see down here, and the moss carpets, not only does it help blend with this colour of the grass, but it also stops the snow as well as the mob spawning, even though it's lit up anyway. But we've got the bridge done. If we hop down here, going over from this section of the castle, they head straight into the library annex, And we can go out this door here, this door. This will lead into the next section of the building later, I think. I think that's going to be a doorway. I need to remember how I've laid it out. But this section stays open to the ground on this side, which we still need to sort out the lighting, but I also need to do all the grass and stuff, which my wrist is getting a little bit better, so hopefully I'll be able to do a little bit more soon. This took a lot longer than, you know, it normally would have done, but this is something I can sort out off camera. And as you can see, there's already shulker boxes here because I went out gathering some resources ready for the start of the next episode, and it is mostly grass and stuff and lots of tuff. Because what I thought I would do, if we fly up here, I'm sick of falling down when I'm building all these things, so I thought I would do the floor on this section here. I know the layout of the castle. I know how it's going to look, where the grassy areas are going to be outside, where the greenhouses are going to be, and where the actual building's going to be. Just the outside of the building. So I thought we might as well get the flooring done here and cover up this mountain. Obviously, this part still needs terraforming. From here, that's going to come all the way across to meet this. Which I'm not going to be doing just yet, but I thought we can get this section fully covered with the flooring, and that makes these builds a lot easier. Obviously, we still need to do the terraforming down on all sides. Actually, I think it's just this side, actually, because that meets, that now meets, and this is built apart from this tiny section, so I think terraforming wise it is actually just this side, which isn't really that much to do. Well, it is, it's still quite a lot. But I thought in the next episode we can get the flooring done before we start working on something else. And it just makes things a lot easier. It means I don't have to land on these little one wide platforms to look around. We'll have the whole size of the flooring done. So that is what all that tuff and stuff is for. There is a courtyard in the middle of this, which is why there was grass and everything there. So there is some grassy areas, and obviously outside the greenhouses is going to be grass as well. So it's not all just going to be tough, but that is what we're going to do in the next episode. But I think we're going to leave today's episode there. It is quite a bit smaller than some of the other builds we've been doing, but I think it turned out pretty well. I especially like the way it looked inside, the actual library part especially. Obviously we've got our little hangout room and the study room, but up here, this turned out a lot better than I expected. I'm really happy with how this looks. It would be nice if we had another bookshelf texture just to mix in. I know you can get the resource packs for the random bookshelves. Actually, have I got that? I think I've got that. Yeah, these are not the same. Okay, so I have got, it is a little bit more random, so it probably would look a lot worse if I didn't have that texture pack on. But yeah, just somewhat with different colours or a little bit of a different design would also be nice. Or if we could make bookshelves where it's just the outside is different, you know, if it was the wood textures, so it didn't all look like oak, that would look even better. I mean, all this in dark oak bookshelves would look amazing, I think. But that is all I've got time for today, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked the video. Please leave a like if you did, and write a comment below and let me know what you think of the library that we've built today. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to follow me and keep up with the series on Skizzlecraft. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.